China pledges to fight trade war to the end and hits back at Donald Trump's barbaric tariffs. China on Saturday said it would continue fighting the trade war with the US until the end. After the two sides slapped further tariffs on each other's goods, the Commerce Ministry issued a statement calling on Washington not to misjudge the situation and underestimate the determination of Chinese people after US President Donald Trump announced new tariffs on Chinese imports. The US should immediately stop its wrong action or it will have to bear all consequences, the statement said. A sharply worded commentary by official mouthpiece People's Daily meanwhile said China had the strength to continue the dispute and accused Washington of sacrificing the interests of its own people. Published under the pseudonym Wu Yuehe, the piece described the latest tariffs measures by the United States as barbaric. It said China's own tariffs on $75 billion worth of American products announced late on Friday were a response to America's unilateral escalation of the trade conflict, adding that China was determined to fight back until the end. The tariffs of up to 10% cover energy and car components in addition to soybeans, and the Communist Party newspaper said the measures would affect the US economy and financial system. China's will to defend the core interests of the country and the fundamental interests of the people is indestructible and will not fear any challenge, the commentary said. History will prove that side on the path of fairness and justice will have the last laugh. Soon after China's tariff announcement, Trump said he would increase duties on Chinese imports, the latest escalation on a day that saw him characterize China President Xi Jinping as an enemy and call on American companies to stop doing business with China. Trump's move raises the 25% rate on US dollar $250 billion worth of goods to 30% effective from October 1st and pushes the 10% tariff on US dollar $300 billion worth of goods to 15% starting September 1st. The intensifying war trade between the two nations could steal some of the spotlight at the Group of Seven summit in Biarritz, France, with analysts saying Trump may pressure other Western leaders to toughen their stance against Beijing, but French President Emmanuel Macron was expected to draw attention to Brazil's handling of the Amazon rainforest fires and climate change during the gathering from Saturday to Monday. The escalation of the tariff war came just a day after White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said deputy labor negotiators from two sides had a very constructive teleconference on Wednesday and that the US was preparing for meetings in Washington in September. According to China's Customs Tariffs Commission, a total of 5,078 US products will be subject to additional tariffs of 10% or 5%. The new duties will be implemented in two batches, the first from September 1st and second from December 15. The duties announced and then suspended earlier this year are a response to Washington's plan to slap a 10% tariff on US dollar $300 billion worth of Chinese imports. The added duties will apply to goods including soybeans, beef, pork, and crude oil. China would also resume imposing additional tariffs of 25% or 5% on American-made vehicles and auto parts starting from December 15. An earlier commentary from Tehran notes, a social media account affiliated with official newspaper Economic Daily said China's countermeasures were akin to a precision instrument targeting industries such as US soybeans, crude oil, and cars. Brian Dodge, Chief Operating Officer at Retail Industry Leaders Association, said Trump's continued escalation of tariffs have already rattled the US market. Mr. President, we implore you to end this trade war before the damage is irreversible. He said, if uncertainty spreads from the Wall Street to the Main Street, the record expansion we are enjoying will undoubtedly come to an end. It will be American consumer, not China, who will suffer. However, the de-escalation in the trade hostilities was unlikely because neither side saw any political upside to offering concessions. And Bill Reinich, a senior advisor in international business at the Washington-based think tank Center for Strategic and International Studies, Trump wants to keep bullying China, and China wants to keep telling the rest of the world that they are the good guy here, Reinsch said. Ian Bremmer, a president of New York-based political consultancy Eurasia group agreed Trump really doesn't want the economy to tank. Bremer said in a Twitter post soon before the news of the US leader's latest move. But if he's headed for confrontation with China anyway, and he would rather take the hit way before the elections, implies escalation from US zone. Trump's comments earlier in the day, which also included an order to Amazon, Federal Express, UPS, and other logistics companies to search for the opiate fentanyl in shipments from China, sent stocks reeling and prompted calls for